Hello, Armchair Generals. Tom here again with another episode of my Japanese campaign in Hearts of Iron 3 using the Black Ice modification version 10.43. Just restarted Hearts of Iron 3 here, and as such, I saved just a couple hours after my last save just to verify and make sure we're not going to crash the game the very first time I save here. We're going along pretty good. Just to kind of recap, looking at the long term, long range forecast here, Zibizama is pretty much going to be conquered here. We've gotten two of their victory point locations, and their third we're driving down to. We should have that, I'm hoping, probably about late spring or something like that. Maybe even early spring would be nice. Chasing down a lone communist partisan, but that's okay. We'll have all this territory controlled here very soon. The next operation that is of interest is my Communist Chinese operation. I'm not going to make a promise that we'll take the Communist Chinese out this episode because we've got several provinces I want to control here. I want to ring around the capital so that way they don't get any reinforcements beyond whatever is already inside the capital. We've also pushed in pretty well in the north. We've hooked up with the peninsula, and we're beginning to hook up with the Shanghai beachhead here. We've just got one province that's, well, get about ready to fall here. And once we do, there's about 80,000 men or so here in these provinces. I'm hoping that we can capture the majority of that behind the lines, but it looks like they're trying to force their way out of here, which there's times where the AI is very smart, and this is one of them. We also have landed in Fuzhou and taken this vital strategic location here. It gives us a port, a VP, and as well, we've got a little bit of a beachhead around here that's now being held by some infantry forces that are reinforcements. Our Marines are going to regain their strength, and we're going to make another landing around Shantou. Not a victory point location. This obviously probably the better location to drop on, and I was kind of thinking that a little bit. I may want to just kind of bring them in here and then do some landings around here and extend out my beachhead from Fuzhou and bring into Xiamen here as well. Is it Xiamen? Yeah, Xiamen, since it is a victory point location. The next, after that operation, the next operation will be landing here, and we want to push up with all the Marines, all of them that we have, and any reinforcements we can get together, and go up into the Gungse Click here. I want to take out the Gungse Click and Yunnan provinces here pretty swiftly. Say late spring, early summer, latest. If I can do that, get all these countries, then we just have the nationalist Chinese remaining, and we can eliminate them at my leisure. I want to maintain war throughout the next couple of years here until I have the Pearl Harbor, the December 7th, 1941 event occur. The attacking the United States is a pretty big thing. So I want to get all this kind of wrapped up, but still maintain combat operations. So our overall production queue isn't going. I should say, isn't going into consumers, is going towards production. I need to pull that down some here. Um, and as such, we can go ahead and conquer all of China, get all that done, and I'm expecting to even get the Republic of China done later this year. Then there's a next series of following events where I can declare on Tibet and declare on Xinjiang afterwards. So I'll go ahead and utilize both of those to kind of maintain that forward thinking of just combat, 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 so we can keep our IC going to where we need it. For right now, speaking of production, we did switch over our focus to the IJN, to the Imperial Japanese Navy, but we are still focusing though for our production on the IJA, the Imperial Japanese Army, because I have, as you can see here, several units that are waiting to be built. In the matter of a couple months or weeks here, rather, we'll have this armor unit, and then later in August, we'll have a couple more units that are going to be built. So all that IC will go towards these here. I do expect to start work on the carriers probably by summer, early fall even, which will be nice because I need to get these carriers out very swiftly. I like to start war with the United States with at least a dozen, if not 16 carriers ready to ship out here in the Pacific, and with even again that another 16 more on the way later. So with that, without further ado here, we're going to go ahead and proceed with our attacks and whatnot. I do see we've got some spoiler attacks from the Chinese that are wrecking havoc. So I want to, let's see, Zhenjiang, that's over there. I do want to go ahead and pull the second off the line so we can stop that spoiler attack here. This attack's going just fine otherwise, though the 8th Army, they need to pull off. They're getting ready to crack. We have enough forces here to handle what's going on. I need to keep an eye on this battle because that, actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and pull off the headquarter unit anyway. If they keep going any further, they're just going to crack. Do I have 2 more? I do. So I guess all of these guys are going to stop fighting as well. Oh my. That's not my militia. That is Manchukuo's or Manjiang's. Otherwise, yeah, it looks like everything else is going fine here. We're waiting for him to gain some organization. He'll join back into the attack. Why is he retreating? That is weird. You know, we were probably in the middle of a battle. I didn't really notice it, and I selected him to move into this province. And as such, the command was taken as a retreat and is retreating back to the rear. That's okay. It's silly, but nonetheless, that's okay. We're pressing forward here. That these guys are all out of supply. Oh my goodness. And I have no way of getting supply over here. The transport fleet that I have there, yeah, that is just out of their range. They can provide supply here, so we shall do so. And if they can get enough, my transport planes get enough supplies stacked up here, then maybe you can filter over to these guys that need it as well. Alrighty. Oh, no, he's out of supply too. Alrighty. Well, we'll just let things go the way they are at this point. Sweet A, okay. They've stopped the attack there. Wookie, we won there. I think that's the second or third time I've actually won there. That's dropped down to 8% now from the 30s. I think I'll have the first Jade move down into here, supported by oh, no. We shall cancel that. I can see why the first J needs to reorg. We're moving into here. And as such, I've got actually I have 3 provinces here and only 3 enemy provinces and 2 that I'm adjacent with. Okay, we're not going to do anything further there. This guy actually, there's only a cavalry unit here. He's going to go ahead and move into there, and I'm going to have these guys do the same as well, and we're going to march on in a little bit. I want to push from the north there onto this river line, make this the next operational area. And we'll have him support that attack on this province here. Okay. We're moving in. I'll have the help division assist there. They're assisting. And yeah, I think that's good enough. We're going to have them just do a spoiler attack to just hold these units in place. Initially, a couple episodes ago, I feel I was coming out of Shanghai and was hoping to envelop an area here that was filled with about 80,000 or more Chinese troops. Unfortunately, I bit off more than I could chew, and we had to roll back a bit here. And then I moved in the Marines to take over that area, and we're hoping to capture maybe half that in this little cauldron that we've got going on there. Otherwise, that's all good. We're waiting to move all these guys around. I think I have a invasion force coming somewheres. There we are. They're coming around the corner. I got to watch them because I don't want them Well, yeah, these are the other two provinces they could land in. I guess that's fine if they want to land in either of those two provinces. Is this for fuel? It is. We shall ignore it. Snowfall has ended. That's because we're getting towards spring. This is good. Um, I'm actually very surprised I did as well as I have here. The oh, I see. He needs to hurry up. Yeah, he needs to go here because he's going to be moving into that territory. So we need to go that way. They attacked me in Wookiee, but that's all right. I'm surprised I did as well as I did against Zibi Sen Ma here because this is all mountainous terrain here. You look in the lower right corner, everything is mountains. And when we were first pushing in westward, I saw there was a snow front over here just west and moving eastward. So I know I didn't really check the weather. I rarely ever do when I commit to battles, but I know there was a snow front moving through. And we had to be affected by that in some of our battles over here. So, oh, gold mode. This is a victory province. We didn't want that to actually be lost. We're going to have him attack up, and he will continue moving. Attacking up will force the partisans to move away, and hopefully, depends on where they retreat. I need to get this partisan force removed. This was part of an event. I had selected at the very beginning of the game that sure, do your worst, throw rebels and partisans at me, and sure enough, the AI has, for the most part, it's been fairly quiet. Whatever partisans and rebels we've dealt with very handily and easily. This one's causing me some consternation running around in my back, as now it took over or returned the victory point location there. So we wanna kick them out of here and destroy them in good order. Good. We have linked up here. Troops have escaped. I don't like to see that, but that's okay. There's about 53,000 troops in that province alone. I think the rest will be escaping over here across the river. There's not going to be much here. Conscript and probably a couple garrisons, missile militias there. But nonetheless, at least we can feel good that we killed about 6,000 people there. Juye, yeah, that's this province here. Attacking across the river, we actually did a whole lot better than I was expecting, but then again, we had a 6-1 advantage in troops. So that was no one. It does help out when you support your attack from multiple fronts instead of just strictly attacking across one province. If you can try to get your attacks going from multiple locations, it can certainly help. Baoing, that's here. They were attacking me. Go mode. There's only 500 cavalry. Less than that now. We actually, well, we were attacking across the river. That's why we lost so many troops. Yeah, this guy needs to hurry up into here. Looks like he's retreating to that province. As such, we'll move him there. Yeah, I need to take these provinces so that way he has fewer avenues of escape when we attack him and he retreats. And when he's done there, then I will come back. Hedgehog defense. Let's see what this is. It's year 38. We're in year 38. We will maintain our research. I know I've been saying this quite often, but I have a rule when it comes to my research. I try to maintain to the same year, unless I'm well behind. But I'll just keep researching something over and over until I finally reach its year. Unless there's certain texts that I consider urgent. Among them be submarines, carriers, for example, a few others. Speaking of carriers, that one just popped up. 1940 tech, 2 years in advance. I will cancel that because that's too far out. Even though I do consider carriers an urgent tech to make sure that I stay on top of and ahead of the game by 1 year, I won't research something that's 2 years ahead of the game because that you just take too much of a research time hit. The efficiency there is just not there. We now need to begin our push into the final victory point location here, so I will do so. We'll have those units go straight in. We will have pretty much all these, except let's say the bottom guy. We'll have all these guys go in here and then have them come in south. And then this guy is going to provide some support. I think we're attacking across the river in all areas here. Yeah, that 4% is kind of indicating as such. River crossing penalty. Carrier hangar advance. All right. Battle Huen here, is that there? So they're attacking me again in that location. So now at this point, I have a lot of units stacked up here. With the exception of him, we can lean behind. We're going to come in, probably swat them away very quickly. They're only conscripts. It'll be a very quick battle, and then as soon as we can, we'll be moving into here and helping out the lone marine attacking in that location. We'll see how many units or how much manpower we'll end up killing there. I would imagine not much. I have a bunch of extra units here plus militia. Oh, we have some Kempeitai. He's moving in. What do we have here? That's the garrison leader. That's the Kempeitai. So all these guys need to board the boat. I've got 5 Kempeitai here, and I think the rest were coming to Shanghai because I've got one there and the other one there. So the other 3 were, plus their leader, were coming over here to Shanghai. Just using the Kempeitai, it's just a 2 military police regiments, battalions merged together, strictly for defensive purposes only. There was an event that Black Ice has in the game where you have general unrest throughout the provinces that you control. As such, you had an option to build police stations in various locations or have actual manpower allotted towards these military police units. And I chose that secondary because it'll give me, I knew it was going to give me 10 different Kempeitai divisions, which I'll use to throw all around in my conquered territories to help prevent partisans from popping up out of nowhere. Okay, everything's looking good there. So we landed just to the east. That's fine. And I had mentioned that I was thinking about why is he there? This infantry unit was supposed to go here. What happened? I thought he was about ready to reach there, and I thought I had the marine unit go that way. Actually, let's have him go here, have him go here, and have him go there, and have him. Come on, there we go. Go back to Fuzhou. I know a very first decision that I had with the Marines, I mentally told myself where I was going to do my landings. Shanghai for one, or well, I should say this peninsula for one, so I can go ahead and take it and meet up with my main army units. And then Shanghai would be the next landing there, and then after that Fuzhou. I figured then my very next landing would be around Shantou and its region because it's a port, and I can pull off some units that are around here and pull them on down. But seeing that this is a victory point location and a nearby port, I could look at landing some the Marines here and expanding out the bridgehead around Fuzhou. But I think I'll just keep going with my landings here in this area, so that way once it's done and I can bring some reinforcements in, then I'll start the Marine landings here. So with that in mind, we do have some Marines here. I want to go ahead and board a ship. We're going to have them land in Puning. Or wait, we have destroyers here and destroyers there. Okay, so yeah, Puning. Since they're just sitting tight, they're patrolling, so they're not actually going to be there for too much longer. And these 2 Marines, okay, maybe 1 Marine. They need to board the assault ship. We'll see if he'll go there directly. And finally, oh, I guess I don't have any further. Yeah, I don't have any further shipping here. I got 2 there. That's because I have 3 Marines up here. And now that we're conjoined, once this is all taken care of, I'm going to have my Marines, my 3 Marines are up here, come on down to Shanghai and ship on out to Fuzhou. Okay, we'll let that ride as is. Artillery brigades. 1940 tech. This is what I consider, along with my standard and light infantry branch upgrades, I do consider that an urgent upgrade too. We want to stay not only on top of, but a year ahead of the technology that's available there, because there's a strategic effect that if your artillery brigades and standard light infantry branch upgrades are not, say, within a few years of whatever the current year is, you'll receive a penalty, which I believe is to your organization, meaning that you're no longer a superpower. You're not considered a superpower. So we want to kind of stay on top of that, so we don't suffer that penalty. As such, here we want to go back to the artillery. We want to go ahead and start those up because they're 1939 tech, and we'll then be able to next year start learning artillery brigades. Our research is coming in quite nicely. Let's check our western front here. He is going to be arriving in that province within 10 hours. It's the matter when he's going to arrive. He's coming up to retake Gulmud on 9th of March. We're not going to be pushing down there anytime soon. We got 2 regular units here. I'm going to move him over to here, and we're going to move him over there. And he's too low in organization. I don't want to support that attack. And everybody is attacking or supporting the attack here. Okay. He needs to regain some work. We're pushing into here. That's good. Whoa, I have a special. Oh, that's right. This is the guy that was retreating when I thought I was telling him to go over that way. I have two. Okay, so he is going to come down here. Well, let's have him actually go there, send him there. And we're going to have 2 units see if they can't get an attack on here. Actually, what is this one bordering? Wuki, which I have. Jianjian, Suide, Shilao, Xinjiang, 4, 5, and 6. So just 6 provinces. They're not even adjacent to that province. This will be again across river, and I don't have forces down here yet. But let's see if we can't get that attack going. I want to get this province next and that one, so that way we're fully surrounding the capital. I don't need to push into here. This is against the river, so that's going to be kind of a tough battle, but we'll see what happens here. We need this to wrap up rapidly here. He can pull off, but we can now move him into here and then just march him on down there. What do we got going here? Oh, the 8th had to pull off because they were hurting, but we'll move him on down there. And we're going, oh, they already pulled off. That's right. They were trying a spoiler attack and it was up to 35% or something like that. And we need to say no on that. Everywhere else is looking pretty good. They're attacking me here. In return, I'm supposed to be attacking them because I'm trying to begin my push so I can make this river the next line here fairly soon. Military police, okay, that's sufficient. We can move into here and we will support the attack from there. That should be a very easy battle. It's only military police and a conscript there. That'll be a very easy battle overall. All this we can kind of, that's a lot of troops, but half of them, more than half, are very badly wounded. We're going to take opportunity there, and yeah, that's probably the forces that retreated from Huyen here, where I finally closed off the gap. We could probably push them aside fairly easily. They are under attack. Interesting. That shouldn't last too long. There we go. It did not, because we attacked and told them otherwise. We're going to support that attack, and these guys are also going to support that attack. 26 doubled. That's good. These guys are moving in again. I don't think we'll get too many units in there, but whatever we can get is whatever we'll be happy with. We're attacking very quickly now, it looks like, maybe. Carrier rudder. That's not a follow-up there. We have a unit built. That is reinforcements for one of my armor units here. We're going to board them on the ship here. I think I have my armor coming down this way. Where are we? I'm trying to remember where they should be at this point. Oh, here they are. Both units are there. So I will go ahead and ship them over to here. That way, once they're done battling, then one can come up here. With that, we'll be done there in August and September for those two. Supplies are looking pretty sweet right now, but reinforcement's not, so let's address that. Let me drop this down to about 45. We'll still be gaining supplies, just not in 1,000 a day kind of type deal here. Once I reach 50,000, that's a good number as far as I'm concerned. I don't think I'll need to gain more than that. We're gaining a decent amount of money. I need to sell energy because I have a surplus. Who needs energy? And who has money? That is the question. And who am I not at war with either? Goodness gracious. Venezuela. Well, Venezuela apparently doesn't have enough money. No, they got tons of money. Deficit of 0.22. Apparently they feel that their deficit's not terrible bad. Menjiang. They will buy energy from me. Good. They're my puppet. They should. I don't really matter. It doesn't matter to me how much money I make off of these deals because I have a surplus of energy, and as such, anything I get is great. I just don't want it. You can only get you can only max out at just under 100,000 there, so I don't see the need to keep producing and not able to sell. All right, we're good to go there. They accepted 47,000 troops, almost 48,000. Not counting other casualties, we had like 5,000 or 6,000 that died here. So we didn't get the 80,000 troops total, but we got a good number of them. And again, we're up to almost 500,000. That definitely puts it at the 500,000 mark. That I've captured entirely in the couple of cauldrons I created. Not impressive Barbarossa numbers for sure, but nonetheless that's not shabby. Juillet, they're attacking me there, okay, but we're returning the favor. Let's go ahead and have him support. This should be wrapping up any second now. And this is actually going far better than I anticipated. That's good. So we're here. They're retreating there. So once they reach there, then I'll be officially attacking them. They won't be able to retreat there, so I don't need to capture that province. So the only places they'll be able to retreat are here and here, these two provinces. Actually, we're just going to move here for right now. And we'll use him to try to chase the partisans down, see wherever they retreat to. We'll need to keep attacking them until we can force them up against the border. And then kill them. 4% still. Yeah, some of these guys are really hurting here. Well, he's actually pretty decent. I think it's several of these guys. The expeditionary forces just did not get enough time and enough reinforcements. We'll pull them off here. Meeting popularity. We lost our high popularity. I'm not sure why. We're actually doing pretty darn well, I think. So you figure the people should be happy to hear news reports coming of, all these victories we're having. New ambassador. Okay, thank you, Germany. Shanxian. Yeah, as I knew, even though this was across the river with the attacks I was having here and just the fact it was just a military police and a conscript, that was going to be a very quick and easy battle. Let me save the game. We're into March right now. A couple weeks have passed. I need to move in and capture there. Excellent. Now I will pull off my Marines, move them there. Where's my other Marine? Here he is. And they're going to get shipped on down to Fuzhou, possibly, unless I've already gotten Shantou captured, which if I do, then that's where they'll get relocated. Okay, good. The shifting around is happening appropriately enough. I've seen too many games where I've been moving out of a province and moving into that province I'm vacating, and the unit moving in is moving too slowly, and the enemy takes the opportunity to jump in and take that province away from me. So I was kind of hoping that that would happen this case here, and it has not. So that's good. All right. We have an armor unit that I will send up here, and we have a second armor unit. Going southward, there's a lot of forest and hills, as you can see, mountains. Well, mostly hills, but I mean, yeah, that's not good terrain. In here is all plains. This is the area that I want my armor units to roam. Um, so I think we will have them come up to the forefront there. These guys, minus the Marine, that's already been taken. We'll just come over here and we'll make this our next pivot point. I want to help attack here, and like I said, push into this area here, this next operational area, so we can take this river, join up here, and start getting in behind this area here. I want to try to push as far westward as is possible, so I can kind of cut off areas of Chinese resistance. Taigu, I think they were attacking me perhaps, or is that may have been where I was attacking at? Feng Yang. Apparently, that was a very yes. This is the communist Chinese. Very, you can see we lost 16,000. We had 158,000 troops involved. They had almost lost 20,000, just over 19, and they had half as many involved there. That was a long running battle, very, very bloody. Again, we're pushing, pushing, pushing. We need to get these two provinces next. He is coming down to assist in that exactly. These two guys, I will have them move down here. Whoops. He needs to stay. Yeah, that guy actually. This guy just needs to move down here. Well, I may just leave that specialized light infantry there. The 8th is coming down. As such, we can have him. Well, we'll wait. We will wait. He's coming in. He's coming in. And when he comes in, I'll have him also support the attack over there. Okay, this is not going very well. First, where's the first? This guy. We'll pull him off the battle there. Everybody else is looking okay otherwise. I'm having him come in, and when he does, he'll be fresher than the units attacking, and I'll have him support the attack there. This guy, he'll be arriving just 2 days. He'll be arriving to the battle in 5 days. Okay. And that's going the way I expect it to. Okay, things are looking pretty good. I should have, yeah, there's my salt ship. Spring mud, we don't need to worry about that. Snow is melting, yay. Snow's over. Carrier hull shape, that's not something I'm researching. And I've lost a bunch of leadership. What has occurred to make me lose? Not sure why. Enterprise launched, okay. That kind of, well, doesn't worry me exactly. I mean, I would expect the Enterprise to be launched roughly around in mid 38. But the fact that I only have 4 carrier ships and I haven't really even started building any at this point, that's not great. Here, do we want to speed up our unit route time? 50-50 shot. If it fails, our organization is going to take a bit of a hit. Or we can go back to the private sector, nationalizing private sector, and get some money. We're doing okay, so if we take a negative on that, it's not a big deal. Is there anything that improves? Oh, we're 80% unity. Before we do anything, there is a law that I need. I think it's this one, the mixed industry. Yes, I can move to heavy industry now, which means I'll be losing roughly 40%, or not gaining 40% as much money as I am right now, and but the positives are the IC efficiency will jump up, IC overall will jump up, and we really need that because We did lose another penalty, and I think the spawn penalty will be going away here this month for the 24%. A few of those will actually go away this month, but we need to keep boosting up our IC because we need to get into our build queue very quickly. So IC and IC efficiency improvements over the mix industry is going to help out. Plus the consumer goods during wartime. Granted, we're not putting any IC into consumer goods, and our descent goes down by 0.02 a day. So any descent we get will get knocked down pretty quickly. But overall, the positives for heavy industry outweigh the mixed industry positives there. Okay. I think everything else is fine, though. We can't go into total economic mobilization, which I will want to do, until 1941, till 3 more years has passed. Everything else we're doing good with. I mean, I could boost my manpower coming in by going to massive or emergency conscription. I just don't want the IC hit for one, though. With the IC bonus I'm getting now with the industry change, that will kind of negate that 4 to 5.5%, just a 1.5% increase. So we could probably do that and start seeing our manpower jump up. So yeah, we will start our massive increase here in conscription. Civil laws, what do we need? Um, I think the control click is in charge, but I think I believe there's a vote or election coming up soon that will remove them or put them in power. There may be another group that's in power right now, and I'll put them in power. So we'll worry about the legalistic restrictions. To be honest, these other civil laws here, I don't see their benefits. Their penalties, in my opinion, outweigh their benefits. Granted, better spies, counterintelligence, um, improvement in consumer goods needed, but we're already effectively in negatives of IC for what we need for consumer goods. So yeah, I don't see my civil laws need to change ever. Military service length, the service by requirement, I'm not going to ever choose until I get to say a desperate point in the war where manpower is just going down. And same with the civil laws, or not civil laws, but the conscription laws. I won't be going to emergency conscription until I get to a point where manpower is just drastically needed. And that's probably not until the 40s, and if the game's going poorly for me. Overall, I think we're all set there where we need to be. Do I need to change any leaders? We're in a new year here. It doesn't look like. Oh, who is this anyway? This is the control click. So we are in charge. I I swear there's an election coming. I thought someone else took over, but I might be wrong on that. Or maybe it's a random event and it's not going to happen for me. Crude oil, we're doing all right with. I wonder if we could. Money's 20%. I wonder if we could switch to somebody else. Neither of these guys is any good that I need. That's not needed, so no, can't switch him out. Is there anybody better here? That's the Ideological Crusader. Could go with Iron Fisted Brute, get a little bit of manpower, but those negatives. No, research efficiency might be pretty cool to have, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose unity. So no there. Armament Minister, we're on this, the air superiority proponent. Is there anybody here? Air and land build speed. That is interesting because we're not doing any air builds right now. I think I only had him because there aren't many other choices for an armament minister. But if I switch over now to a military entrepreneur, we could get our remaining land builds here done a little bit quicker. Not much. I mean, 2.5% speed increase will knock, say, a week off of these two. And that loss of money, not too much of a hit, really. Over $7,000. Yeah. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a military entrepreneur of the same party and see what that does for us. Crime Fighter, I think, is the best we could possibly do because it's all positives for everything that we really need and want. If there's anybody here that does, that man of the people here, espionage, manpower modifier. Organization regain rate. Land organization, though. Ugh, no, I don't like that. Minus 10%. Nope, we'll leave the guy in charge that's there. I talked about several times I was going to move over to my aircraft carrier specialist, but I just recently, this guy just recently got me super heavy battleship tech. Um, I'm so far ahead in that now where I don't need to research SHBBs for quite some time. So I'm not going to touch any, I'm not going to switch over to any of these guys just yet here. A research specialist might be good. Um, and that may even get me, it may even get me some research buildings. You know what? I think I will switch over to a research specialist, though. The loss in rare materials, I don't like to see that, but it will still be gaining. We'll still be gaining a net positive in rare materials. The money loss, again, I won't like seeing that, but we should still be gaining money. Not quite as much now. That research efficiency will be nice, and I think this guy will get me some research buildings, which overall will help my research efficiency and leadership as well. Head of intelligence, I don't. He gives me IC, so I think I want to leave him alone as is. Eventually, I want to switch him over to Nomura here because of the naval intel. The naval intel will have an increase in chance of showing me where ships are all around here, and once I'm attacking America, that'll be very handy to have. I want to see where the American carriers are and where they're going, and the naval base efficiency because we'll be doing so many naval operations in the Pacific, we want to ensure that supplies are going to all the ports that we're going to. So I'll be switching to him in 1941, but for right now, our industrial specialist is just fine there. School defense, I don't think there's anybody better than him at this point. I mean, school fire support's great. School fire support's more for like Germany, America, just because of these bonuses that are here. Overall, though, I want that 5% organization for my land units. Static defense. Well, we would maintain our land organization so that we wouldn't see any loss there, and we would actually gain 10% more towards our manpower. So should be gaining then over 50 men a month, say 2 a day, 1 3/4 a day. Um, don't care about the territorial pride. We would be losing the defense reinforced chance and the artillery practical day, but we would wipe out that combat movement speed as well. My guys start moving a little bit faster. So it's 4.6 kph. They would then be moving almost 4.7 kph instead. So yeah, we'll go ahead and select him. Chief of the Navy. I don't think. Well, for right now, it doesn't really matter as far as the naval minister goes. But once war starts, or once I get towards um, war with America, we want a power projection doctrine, whether it's Yamamoto or someone else, probably Nagumo, because he'll be in the same party that we have currently in power. The power projection, that's all. This will make Japan much better than what they'll already be. They carrier protection efficiency, naval strike efficiency, aircraft carrier practical decay, all that is stuff that'll be very, very handy to have. But for right now, not a big deal. Chief of the Air Force that's probably the same thing as well. We're in naval aviation doctrine. I could switch him over now to Hata because we're not really using any of this here that the Naval Aviation Doctrine Minister provides. So if I throw in my Army Aviation Doctrine, that'll give me a 5% Army Air Organization bonus and ground attack efficiency bonus. So yeah, let's do him. All right, it's good that we took this opportunity to go ahead and go through some laws and our ministers as well, because we had some improvements. I think because of the change in year. Speaking of further improvements, uh, I was mentioning where I wanted to go here. I really would like to see my unit recruit time go down, but I'd rather not have, if I fail that role, I'd rather not have a hit to my recruit time and organization, land and air, plus officer recruitment. So I think to avoid any potential negatives that will address my overall battles in China, we're just going to ask for more money and see what happens here. So it's either compensation accepted or nationalization. What happened here? Compensation accepted. So we made our roll. It's plus 15% money. That definitely helps out because we did take some laws and ministers that give us some negatives to money. So overall, I think now with all the changes, we're doing very, very well. Speaking of doing very well, we want to move this up to +5. We're at 35,000. Our builds are coming along quite nicely. We will save the game at this point in time here. And we are, I would say, at the, it's a very short episode in regards to how far we've gone. So I do apologize on that. We haven't gone any further in any areas other than our, we're now linked up overall, with the exception of Fuzhou and now the Shantou region. Those will be linking up eventually. But we're doing pretty well overall, I would have to say. Zhuhai is just exceeding expectations at this point in time. Communist China, slow and steady, is winning the race here. I'm hoping that we can get, maybe not next episode, but next episode after that, we'll have Communist China taken out of the war, and we'll be progressing a bit further, deeper into China proper. Thank everybody for watching this episode here with me. If you have any questions, comments, leave it down below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.